Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and to a new project. As you can see, I have a few things to show you. I'll put those off to the side. We are still working with Lucky Star. We finished the mini album, but I mentioned in that project to set aside some paper because I had a second project that we were going to do. And I've gotten started. This is not going to be a full step-by-step tutorial, but I'll show you enough that you'll be able to make one of these. So I'll go over what I've done here in a minute. I want to show you what we're making. I have 4 of them here. I've made a lot more than that, but I've given a lot away. But let me just show you a few of these. These are one of my favorite things to make. They're quick, they're easy, people love them. They feel really nice in your hand. They're chunky. They have some weight. But don't let that fool you. They do use quite a bit of paper, depending how you make them. So I have 2 here that I made using Stamperia. This is Imagine. This is, what is this one called? Mechanical C, something like that. And then this uses Graphic 45, and this one used 49 and Market. And one thing I want you to note is, here, let me look at this one. Notice how different in size these are. They were made exactly the same way. The difference is the 49 and Market paper is so thick that it made this for a much chunkier book. So let me show you. Let's look at this one. I'll show you a couple of these, or maybe even all of them, so you can see what they're like. This one's closed with a twine. The twine goes through grommets on the back, but you don't have to do it that way. This one uses a seam binding that's under the back mat, so you can do it that way too. All right. So this is what's holding the book together, these hinges, okay? So it's got some little pockets here, and you're going to see how to do that here. And notice this page is made out of cardstock that's been matted. This page here is made out of the actual pattern paper. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick flip through. And I can remember which ones flip and which ones don't. That. So that's that one, and you can see here's the twine. Okay, let me set that one aside somewhere. I have so many things over there. Okay, now this one's similar. This is Imagine. I like the twine on this one better. I just got new twine, and I don't really like the twine that I got. It's kind of rough. Now this one, I actually put the twine underneath the inside back mat. And the reason I didn't on the other one is because I only had this twine that I don't really like. So I'm going to replace it. And one thing you could see that's different with this is I used a slightly different shape on the gusset to hold them together. And on this particular one, I didn't fully glue it down, so it could be a tuck. And here I put the book together with the gussets before I matted some of the pages, so you can't actually see the gusset on this page. So that's an option. And these are pockets. So you get the idea. I'm not going to go through everything. There's a lot to see with these. Okay, so there's that one. Let me show you this one. This is the 49 and Market that looks so much bigger than the others. Same twine on the back, and this one I believe I also put the twine underneath. And it's the same number of pages, like I said, it just is so much thicker because the 49 and Market paper is thicker. I'm just flipping quick to show you a few pages. Okay. And then this one is Graphic 45. I made a knot out of it. And I don't know if you've noticed, and I didn't point it out, the ties on all of these, the closure, is not centered. It's down from the center slightly. Okay. Okay, like for instance, here's a pocket, which I don't feel like, I don't know, maybe I didn't put anything in that pocket. I can't tell. Guess I didn't. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. And that ties around. Okay. So let's talk about making it and what you need. You need 2 pieces of chipboard, 4x6. You need 11 pages total, and you can break them up however you like. In terms of, you need 5 sheets of one kind of paper and 6 sheets of the other for a total of 11. So I had 5 sheets of, and they have to be, the pattern paper is 8x8. So you need however many sheets of pattern paper you're using, either 5 or 6, but they are 8x8. And then you need 5 or 6. So if you have 5 of these, you need 6 of these, and vice versa, of 12x12 cardstock. And in my case, I'm going to use 3 blue and 3 craft, which they can all be the same color. I was just getting low on craft, so I decided to add some blue in. All right, so let me show you. Let's start with the pattern paper. What you're going to do with this is score it from the top in half. So 4 inches, 4 inches. Okay. Then you're just going to score 2 inches on the bottom. And when you're doing this, be aware that that 2 inches on the bottom is going to fold up and form a pocket. So whatever is on it will be upside down. So be aware of that. Okay, so let me pull over. I've already done, I've got 5 of these and I've already done 4 of them. So what you're going to do, so here's, it's been folded in half. Here's our 2 inches. You're going to fold it up. You're going to fold it in half, and then you're going to trim this wedge out, which I did mine a little big. I'll show you that with the one that we've already done. So you can see, like on this one, this little dancer would have been upside down if I folded it the other way. So I folded it this way. She's on the inside, and it's fine. Okay. So let me show you with this one. Okay. So we're going to fold it in half. Burnish it. You're going to fold up your 2 inches. Burnish it. Fold it back in half. And then you want to cut as narrow here as you can. I cut some of mine a little fat. And you're cutting just up to that 2-inch mark. And then cut a little wedge out of it. And just see, I didn't do that very neatly, so let me fix that. Okay, and sometimes you do have that little tail left that you have to trim. But that is that, okay? So you need however many of these you have, 5 or 6. Okay? And I have 5. Now, take your 12x12 and you're going to score it in half at 6, rotate it 90 degrees, score it at 4 and at 8. Okay, so now you're going to have 6 little sections. And you could treat each of these completely differently to get whatever it is that you want. And let me show you what I mean with some of the ones I've already done, and then we'll do some. Okay, so I have this one. So I have one, two, three. These sections are still intact across the top. But on the bottom, I cut out the middle section, and then I cut out half of each of the side sections, leaving just a 2-inch strip, which I will fold up and glue, and that's going to form a pocket. And then the other thing that I did is on the right side, I trimmed just about 1/8 of an inch off. And the reason for that is it's going to fold over this way, and then this is going to fold over the top. And if you don't trim it, it won't fold. Okay? So let me, I might as well go ahead, let's glue that so you can see how to do that. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little glue right along the edge, assuming my glue bottle wants to work. There we go. Okay, and then just a little bit along the edge of that strip that I have left. Just there. And then close it. And I don't know if I have a baby wipe handy. Let me grab one. And burnish. Now, I'm showing you this so you know how to do it. What I really prefer to do is actually mat this before I glue this down, because then I can do a full mat. Okay, so I'm not going to do this one, but actually, you know what? Why don't I just put a mat on it and then you can see. I think I set aside some 4x6 pieces. Okay. I also set aside this cut apart sheet that we can use. All right, so let's. We'll use that one. All right, let's use this piece. Okay. So for this, I need a piece that is, it depends how big an allowance you want, but 5 3/4 I'm going to go with. And it only needs to go where it won't be seen anymore by the pocket. So 3 1/2 should be enough, because it's only a 2-inch space, really. Actually, 2 1/2. Okay, so 5 3/4 by 2 1/2. Actually, that's going there. And let's go ahead and ink. Probably have to trim this one because this one has to go in the pocket that we already glued, but so this is going to go here. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. Sorry, my glue is being go. Okay, like that. pocket. Let's see if this one fits. It's gonna fit. Okay, but you can see it would have been easier if I had put the mat down before I made the pocket. But it'll be fine. You can see, because I'm gonna have to shift it down because of that glue up there. Oops, I got glue everywhere. And just want to, I don't have the rollers. Make sure I haven't glued the pocket shut. Okay, so that's one way of doing that. Okay, so now we have a page with plain in the middle, 2 pockets. We'll come back and mat. Okay, so that's one. And then here's another one. I'm not going to go ahead and mat all of them, but I just want to show you how to make some. So this one, what I did is I removed the 2 bottom side pieces. I left the middle piece. I trimmed just a hair off the sides, and I cut the middle section down. You could do however you like. This one's 4 inches. So this is going to fold up and form a pocket in the middle. And then we have the 2 sides that fold over. Okay. And again, I trimmed a hair off of this side so that it'll fold nicely. Okay. So that's another one. Let me show you another one. Let's use this one. So one that I like to do a lot is a, let me think if I want to do it in the middle or on the sides. Maybe we'll do both. Okay, let's do angled pockets on the sides. So let's fold this. And what did I do with my bone folder that I literally just had in my hand 2 seconds ago? Seriously, here it is. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to fold these so you can see a little better. Okay. Now, if you need to save paper, one thing you could do is just cut this in half on that 6-inch line before you even score anything. Cut the sheet 6 inches and then score it 4 and 8 and 4 and 8, and you'll get 2 pages that have 3 just full flaps. So that's an option. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is we want to fold it up like that and end up with angled pockets on the 2 sides, and we don't need the middle. Okay, so in order for that to happen, if we want angled pockets, and we can mark it on this side, I don't like to go all the way to the point. So I want it to be about 1 inch from there. So let me do it this way. Okay, so I'm going to take and I'm going to mark 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm on the score line and I'm going to mark 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Okay, and I'm going to join these 2 lines by marking it on this side. They're going to, these marks, if there's any sign of them, will be on the inside. okay, because they're going to flip up like that. Okay. All right, so now you have something that looks like this, okay? And what we're going to do is remove all of this, okay? And you can do it with your paper trimmer, or you can do it with scissors. And my paper trimmer is so dull right now, and I don't want to buy blades for it because I want to replace it, so I don't want to spend money on the blades. But I have to wait to payday to replace it. But we'll see. I tend to do better with scissors than I do with paper trimmer. Alright, so what I'm going to do is line that up so the mark that I made is along the cut line. And then cut. Okay, well that wasn't too bad, but it's a little ragged from being dull. And then we want to do the other side, which I think I have to do this way to try and get it in there. I'm very leery of this trimmer because it's chewed up things before. So I'm just sort of eyeballing. Okay, I don't think I went all the way to the top, but that's okay. And now when I'm cutting off a section, I want to cut off my score bump. Oh, see? Did you hear how that's chewing that up for no apparent reason? Ugh, I hate this thing. Okay. Well, in this case, it's not really its fault. The blade is very dull. Okay. Alright, and I'm just finishing the trimming with my scissors. There we go. Okay. So now when these fold up, they'll get glued here and here, and here and here, and we will end up with angled pockets. Now this is not going to close because it's too, this is what I was talking about. You have to trim this edge, but I'm going to do that on my good trimmer because I don't trust that little guy. So let me set that aside. I'll just put it over here. Okay, so that's one. Yikes. That's another thing you can do. Hang on. I've got to organize things a little bit here. All right, so let's do another one. And let's say, what would we like with this one? How about if we do 2 pockets on these 2 and nothing in the middle? So that means I need to keep the 2 outside sections and get rid of the middle section. I'm just going to use my scissors. Okay. Save these, they're a good size. Okay. So then these will fold up, okay, and then you'll fold over, but you'll find that they're tight, okay? That's why I said you want to cut off the bump, but you may need to cut a little extra down in the fold. Now we need to decide how high do we want our pockets. And I don't want these to be really big pockets, just sort of smallish pockets. I want to say I want them to finish 2 1/4, and you have two options. You can either just cut it off at 2 1/4, but I'm going to cut mine to 2 3/4 instead. And I am going to, and of course you can again use your paper trimmer if your paper trimmer is trustworthy. And I'm going to mark this on the inside at 2 3/4 and 2 3/4. And we're going to hope for the best. Okay, here we go. And now I'm going to repeat that this side. And I'll make a mark. Really only need one at 2 3/4. To do is I'm going to score these at 1/2 inch. Actually, I probably want to score it on this side. Before I fold these up, I want to trim just a teeny bit off. It's going to be at a bit of an angle. Just like that. It's just a little bit so we can fold these in easier. Okay, and then you want to take those top edges that we cut, and that way when you fold up to make the pocket, you have kind of a little finished edge on the top of the pocket. And you'll glue this down. I can do that. And I'm just going to trim that where my paper trimmer cut it raggedly. There we go. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all that stuff so I can afford to get a new paper trimmer. No, I'm kidding. Although it would help. Okay. I have a big one that's fine. It's not my favorite, but it's fine. But for little things like this where I just want to do it on camera, it's a little tricky. I think I'm going to get the Stampin' Up! One. What do you guys think? What do you use for a small portable one? Okay, so those will get folded down. You have a nice neat edge to your pockets, and then matte, and again we're going to trim this corner, matte, or this edge, matte, fold up and glue, and then we have another page. Okay. Which won't fold yet because I haven't trimmed that corner, that edge. Okay, so let's see. We have 2 more to do. Oh my goodness, I have such a mess going on over here. You have no idea. All right, let's do. How about just the opposite? Let's remove the 2 outsides, leave the middle one. And then we'll cut a triangle out of it so we end up with an angle pocket going here. Okay? So, let me do that. So I am keeping the middle and getting rid of the 2 outsides. Okay, now we have that. Save those. This is going to fold up like this. Okay, and probably gonna have to, let's see if I need to trim any off that side. It's not too bad. I did cut it a little bit in when I was removing it, so I don't think I do. All right, so what we want is a pocket that's full here at the bottom, going to a point up here. So I need to cut off this. So let me open that. So that means I need to go from here to here. And I think I'm just going to eyeball it, but I'm not going to go, I think I'll leave about a 1/4 inch. Can you see that? I'm not going right into the point. I'm coming this way just to make it a little less fragile. Sharp points on paper tend to be a little fragile. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that with my scissors. This is a terrific project for working on away from your desk, which is why I like it, because usually I am not working on this, you know, where I record and everything. Because you can make these little things wherever. They don't require much in the way of tools. Okay, so you can see I've got a tiny hair down there, maybe 1/8 of an inch and about a 1/4 of an inch here. And that's going to be our pocket. That's going to fold in. Again, we're going to trim that edge, and then this will fold over. Okay, just like that. Okay. And let's see. I usually do 1 page that's plain, but if I do that, I'm going to end up with 2 because I'll have to cut this in half. So what else would we want to do? Oh, let's maybe, let me think. We've already done angled pockets here. We've done a full pocket here. We've done an angled pocket here. What do we want to do? I don't want to do any more pockets because we're going to have a lot of pockets on the pattern pages. So I think what I'm gonna do, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna remove the top left and right and leave the middle. Okay, so that's a little different. Up to now we've kept the bottom, but this time we're going to lose the top. Okay. All right. So now we have, and again I'm going to have to trim that. And I think I'm going to trim a little off the side there because it's a little bulky. So what we're just going to have here is a flap, and I think I'll cut a little bit off the bottom of that flap. Just to give it a little interest so it's not just exactly matching the one below it. I think I'm just going to cut 1 inch off. Okay, so that's going to go like that. And so I'll have to trim the the right side of all of these ones. And that's that. Okay, so now you've seen how to make all of these. So let's go back to the pattern paper. And again, it's going to be just like that first one. Pick any mats that go inside pockets and put those down, and then glue down the pockets. Which I may get to. I don't know. I'm trying to keep this as brief as possible. If you would like to see a full video of these, I'm trying to remember. I saw it on Christina Radovan's Instagram, but it was last year, so I don't know if it's still there or not. That's that one. Okay, so let's take a look at these. Now you can leave these completely as is, glue them up. Now see, I cut this wedge a little wider than I would like, so I'll probably do something different with this page. Let's find that one. Let's see. This one, my flowers and crown are upside down, but okay, so this we don't have to do any matting. You don't have to cut out that little extra bit that I left there in the middle though. Okay, but we do want to ink, so let's ink. A little enthusiastic with my ink there. It's all right. And then if you want to, you can ink like that. Up to you. Okay. And then we are just going to, oops, for these, glue the pockets. And to do that, you just glue the two short sides. That. Try not to do a big glob of glue at the top like I just did again. Okay. Okay. And that's all you have to do for that. Okay. And now we have little pockets. There's my, there it is. Little ruler. Okay. Okay. And the less glue you use on the sides, the wider your pockets will be. Okay. Now, let's look at this one, which I accidentally, like I said, cut a little wider wedge than I really wanted. And I can show you what I'm going to do about that. And just doing that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take and fold this so that the cut edge that I made is even with the bottom edge of the pocket. And just be a little careful because you haven't scored anything. You don't want to tear your paper. Okay, just like that. And just like that. Okay. And then you could glue these down and leave them like that. Or if you want to add a little more interest, you could fold them back so that they are even with the angle, just like that. Okay. Just like so. Okay. And depending how thick your paper is, you know, you may have to maybe not do this or do it. Just be careful. Like I said, you haven't scored anything, so you could tear. Now, if something tears or cracks on this particular style of album, I don't really care. It doesn't bother me. Okay. And then just a little bead of glue there. And we're not going to put a bead of glue here. We're just going to put that one. Okay. There. This side. And there. And then you can either leave these up and loose like that. I like to at least glue this top thing down because it doesn't need to be floating around. that. Okay, and then if you want, you can also glue this down, or you can leave it as a little flap. Okay, so there is that one. And let's see if we want to do anything with these. You can cut them. Honestly, these I don't usually fuss with too much. I either do one or two. Either I leave them plain or I do that fold back thing. And let's see, what do we want to do with that? I think I'll fold this back maybe just once. Maybe we'll just do the triangle thing like that. Oh, I forgot to ink it. I gotta ink it. Okay. Just like that. Like that. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm just going to glue the bottom edge of this triangle. Glue is just being terrible today. Okay. Clear that goop off. And that way you could tuck something little in there. I'm just going to add a little bit more glue down in that corner. Oh, okay. All right, there's another one. And I think I will leave this one plain. Maybe. What's underneath it? Oh, that's kind of pretty if I fold it back. All right, same thing. Let's fold this one back as well. Just gonna put a little ink right there to start. That's pretty much how. Now, one thing you can do to help you with folding is, get a little ruler in there to work against. Didn't do that one very well, but that's okay. These are not meant to be something that you fuss over. Okay. Here's that one. Okay. And the last one, we will just do plain pockets. Oops, forgot to ink it. Hang on. Okay. Yikes. Get my hands in the glue. Okay. Glue all over my fingers. Okay. Now remember to ink the other side. Okay. Oh, did I do the bottom of this? I didn't. Okay. Now these, I think I mentioned, take quite a bit of paper by the time you mat everything. If you don't have that much left, you don't have to mat every single thing on the cardstock pages. But I like to do as much as I can. Okay, so this is all of these. And then we have our cardstock pages. We already did this one. And I have all the rest that we just made. So what I'm going to do off camera is I'm going to go through and mat anywhere there's a pocket or a flap and glue down that pocket or flap. And I'm going to trim a little bit, 1/8 of an inch off the right side of any flap that's folding in. Okay, and then I will be back and show you how to put it all together. Okay, I am back. I have matted, and now I'm just going to glue all of the various pockets, and I will do that on fast forward, and I'll stop if there's anything I think that you need to see. One thing to note is the covers, which are the chipboards, are fully matted. I don't leave any reveal around the edge, and if they're not wrapped, they're just matted. Okay, so here's front cover, and I'm just going to work my way through anything that needs gluing. I'm going to glue. So I'm going to do the back cover. Now you may have noticed as I was flipping through, I have one area. Let me show it to you. Hang on. I'm going to keep these in some sort of order here. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. This one. Okay, where I don't have a mat here, and I completely ran out of paper. I've used every scrap, pretty much. I have tiny little scraps left. But I do have the 2 cut apart sheets, one 8x8, one 12x12. So I'm debating between just putting a solid blue mat here, for a photo, or cutting a piece out of one of those cut apart sheets. But because I have so little paper left to make inserts, I may want every one of the cut aparts. So this may just be solid blue, or I may just leave it because it's a photo is likely going to go there. But anyway, so that's what's happening there. Okay, back cover. All right, so I have this on the outside back cover, and this is going to be the inside back cover. And what I want to show you what I did here, I measured up 2 5/8 inches and drew a line across. And then I measured 3/4 of an inch in from either side, made a dot, and then that's where I placed my 2 grommets on the outside. Now, before I put the inside mat, I want to put my fiber that I'm going to use. And honestly, my favorite thing for these books is just twine, regular brown rustic twine, but I don't have any. I have some, but I don't like it. It's too rustic. And what you need is a length long enough, whoops, I hit you, I'm so sorry, long enough to go twice around the book and then tie in a bow, which I have wrapped this twice and tied it to check my length. So hopefully I'm right. And actually, there's no point in trying to find center right now. So what I want to do is thread one end of the fiber through from the inside to the outside like that. And then we're just going to do the same with the other end. I'm just using a purple chenille that I have and some silver and white baker's twine combined. These are just from my stash. You can use whatever you have. Again, I personally just like regular rustic twine for these, if you have that. If you don't want to be bothered with doing grommets, you don't have to. You can just run some seam binding or ribbon or something. Did I just hit you again? My goodness, I'm so sorry. This is so long. Okay, so we've just pulled that through. I've centered it so that I know I have equal length on either side. And now I'm going to glue down my mat. And I know I mentioned to you that the grommets and twine are not centered on the back. You can if you want. The reason they're not, though, is if you look here, you will see, because of all the pockets and things at the bottom, it's a little fatter at the bottom than it is at the top. So if you put the closure more to the bottom, it kind of evens that out. And it looks nice. And how I cut these mats, knowing that I was paper limited, is I went through and cut almost, well, I did. I cut all of the whole mats, like the ones that needed to be 3 7/8 by 5 7/8, or 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 in some cases if I didn't have enough. Like this one's a little short, but it is what it is. That's what I had. And I'll show you what I mean. Not the inside ones, but the outside ones, to make sure that I had enough paper at least to do those. Okay. So in other words, I went through and I cut for here, for here, and for here, and for here. If I needed a whole one here, I didn't cut that one yet, or here. Once I cut all those, I distributed them on all the places that needed them. Then I cut the next biggest pieces that I needed, and so on, until I had all the mats. Now, knowing what I know now, because I did love this paper so much, I wanted to do a second project, I probably would have gotten 2 8x8s and 2 12x12s. Instead, I had 1 8x8 and 2 12x12s. So if you know you're going to make both projects, I would get 2 8x8s and 2 12x12s. Then you don't have to worry about it. You'll have plenty. Okay. All right. So there's that. So the only thing that's left to do now is put it together. Okay. So to put this together, we're going to need some gussets. And I have cut mine. I did not have enough pattern paper to cut all my gussets out of that, so I cut some out of blue. But they are 5 7/8 by 1 1/4. They're scored in half. That's 5/8. And then I just used my 1/2 inch corner rounder. See, spot right into ink. corner rounder on them on all 4 corners. So I had enough to make 4 patterned ones, and the rest I made out of plain. And I believe there's 12. I'll have, well, I don't have a cutting guide for this, I don't think, but 12 I believe you need of that. Okay, so let's slide this over. This is very easy to do. So the first thing we want to do is join these two. And you can do this before you mat, so the gussets end up under the mats. But I personally kind of like the way they look showing. So that's strictly personal taste. I'm trying to decide if I want to use a plain one or a pattern one here. I think for the first one we'll use a pattern. Nope, too busy. Let's use that one. Okay, that's pretty too. Yeah, let's use that. All right, so what you want to do is fold it so that the part you want to show, if you're using a pattern one, is on the inside. If you're using solid one, doesn't matter. Okay. Then you want to glue one of these outsides. Okay. Take your cover. And this is just a hair shorter than the piece that we're using, so you just want to center it and put it right along the edge. Okay. And in case I didn't mention it, I just remembered, we have cardstock pieces like this one, and we have ones we made out of pattern paper. So what I did is alternate. I have a craft cardstock, a pattern paper, a blue cardstock, a pattern paper, craft pattern, blue pattern, like that. Okay, so this is the next one. Okay, and all we're going to do is add glue to the other side of this. And then we are just going to layer this face down onto it. Make sure you've got everything right side up. Lift it up and make sure it is square. And burnish. Here we go. Turn it over. Grab your next one. I will use a solid. Glue. And repeat. Make sure that it is along the edge. Burnish. Okay, glue. You can see how easy this is. Okay, and then we're going to add this one. Make sure it's right side up. Okay. Did I do that? I did. Okay. Okay, just like that, and then keep going. So I will probably fast forward through the rest. Okay, there we go. There's a glue. That's a lot of glue. It's going to take a little while to set up. Not too long though. It's art glitter glue. And then this is going to wrap twice. Each side is going to like crisscross. And then tie in a bow. I cut this long, so I'm just tying it so I can trim it down to whatever size I actually want. There we go. Put my pin in my glue. So then the only thing that I usually do when I'm done is, if you have inked, I will sometimes just go through and ink the perimeter of the book. Let me tie it. In case you have anywhere that's kind of light. Get the corners. And just like that. Okay, so there you have it. So it's got the flip. I don't have anything there. I'll probably just put navy blue. And then I might put a little ribbon or something to help lift that. And that. And I will just go through and cut apart the cut apart sheets and tuck those in. Again, I might put blue there, I might not. And that's that. A nice, fast, easy project. These are so much fun to make. I have totally lost count of how many of these I've made. I just really enjoy making them. Oops, I've only went around once. Alright, so crisscross. And you don't have to double tie these, I just like to. And again, this is a design project for Scrap and Crate. You can get all your supplies there. If you're going to make both books, like I said, would get 2 12 by 12 and 2 8 by 8. That should do it for you. And I have some ephemera and things left I may go through and add, but you'll see that in the walkthrough video. Actually, you will have already seen it in the walkthrough video. I guess that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. I will see you next time. We will be working with passages from Blue Fern Studios, also for Scrap and Crate. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.